I manage a cafe in Melbourne's CBD. American walked in at 8:47 a.m., saw our staff laughing, and asked if we were even open for business. We were mid-morning rush. 12 orders waiting. Espresso machine screaming. My barista Jake was telling Sarah about his weekend surf trip while simultaneously pulling 3 perfect flat whites. The American watched this, then said, "In the States, we focus during work hours." Jake handed him his coffee without breaking his story. "Yeah, mate, that's why you all look so miserable." The guy said our unprofessional attitude would never fly in New York. I told him Jake made 60 coffees an hour. He said, while talking. I said, especially while talking. He shook his head like we'd solved the wrong equation. Left a review saying our staff needed discipline and management training. Jake's employee of the month, 3rd time this year, a hotel concierge. In Sydney told me an American couple complained that the front desk clerk was too casual because he called them mate. They demanded someone address them properly. The manager came out. Also called them mate. They asked for corporate's number. He said, "No worries, mate." They left. Americans think relaxed means lazy. Australians know stressed means inefficient. If you're the kind of person who notices the difference between culture and conditioning, this channel is where you'll always get the deeper layer. I break the stuff down every week. Subscribing simply guarantees you don't miss the next pattern. I work at support in Brisbane. American contractor joined our team remotely. First day he sent me an email at 5:47 p.m. I left at 6 o'clock. Logged in next morning to 17 messages. "Did you get my email? This is urgent. I need this before the meeting. Are you there? Hello?" Meeting was Thursday. This was Monday. I replied Tuesday morning. "Got it, mate." Thursday's ages away. Called me immediately. Said in America, emails after 5 p.m. still count as same day. I said in Australia, emails after 5 p.m. count as tomorrow's problem. He said his entire workflow depended on instant responses. I told him our office had right to disconnect laws. After hours, we literally don't have to respond. He said that was career suicide. I said cardiac arrest was worse. He insisted American work ethic built empires. I told him Australian work-life balance built happiness. Most people hear stories like this and just laugh. But if you're here because you want the why behind these cultural clashes, you're already thinking differently. Subscribe, and you'll get the kind of analysis most people never even notice is missing. Started scheduling emails to arrive at 8:59 a.m. our time. Thought he'd beaten the system. We still answered when we felt like it. He quit after 3 months. Exit interview mentioned lack of urgency. We threw him a going-away Barbie. He didn't understand why we were celebrating. My cousin manages a marketing firm in Perth. American hire called in sick her 2nd week. Just said, "I'm not feeling well. Taking a sick day." Boss said, "No worries. Feel better." Hung up. The American called back 2 minutes later. "Don't you need details?" Boss said no. She said, "In America, I'd need a doctor's note." He said, "We're not your mom." She kept talking. "What about coverage for my projects?" He said the team would handle it. She said, "But what if I'm sick multiple days?" He said then she'd be sick multiple days. She asked about sick leave limits. He said 14 days. She asked if she needed to save them for emergencies. He said they're for being sick. She asked, what if she used them all? He said that'd be unfortunate. She asked about documentation protocols. He said there weren't any. She came in the next day. Told everyone she felt guilty staying home. My cousin told her that was exactly why she should have stayed home. She said American corporate culture required showing dedication. Said Australian culture required not infecting the whole office. She used 3 sick days her entire first year. Americans call it work ethic. We call it Stockholm Syndrome. Work in hospitality recruitment in Adelaide. Placed an American manager at a beachside restaurant. First week he implemented working lunches. Staff ate while doing prep work. Owner shut that down immediately. Said legally, breaks must be uninterrupted. Manager said, in America, working lunches are efficient multitasking. Owner said in Australia they're called illegal. Manager insisted his staff didn't mind. Owner said the law-minded. The manager said he'd never heard of mandatory breaks. Owner explained. 30-minute unpaid break, 4 shifts over 5 hours. Manager said that killed productivity. Owner said Fair Work Commission killed managers who violated it. Manager tried implementing optional working lunches. 3 staff reported him within 2 days. He couldn't understand why. Said American workers appreciated the flexibility. Owner said Australian workers appreciated their rights. Manager called it entitlement. Owner called it employment law. He was fired after 4 weeks. Left a review saying Australian labor laws were anti-business. Owner framed it in his office. Said it was the best compliment he'd ever received. I'm a graphic designer in Melbourne. American client hired our agency for a campaign. Deadline was 3 weeks out. She sent daily check-in emails. We sent updates twice. Week 2, she demanded a video call. Said she needed to see progress. We showed her drafts. She said they were too relaxed for her brand. We asked what that meant. She said our designs didn't convey urgency. Said her product was organic skincare. She said wellness is a competitive industry. She wanted everything bolder, more aggressive. We told her Australians don't respond well to aggressive marketing. She said, then how do you sell anything? We said by not screaming at people. She insisted American marketing techniques were proven. We said proven to annoy Australians. She flew to Melbourne for the final presentation. We showed up in sneakers and hoodies. She wore a full suit. Asked why we weren't dressed professionally. Said we were designers, not lawyers. She said appearance matters. We said results mattered more. Campaign launched. Outperformed her American campaigns by 40%. She credited her vision and guidance. We credited not making Australians feel like they were being yelled at by their skincare. She hired us again. Still sends daily emails. We still respond when we feel like it. Manage a software company in Sydney. American developer saw our leave policy for weeks annual leave. He laughed. Said that's a typo, right? Wasn't a typo. He said American developers got 2 weeks, maybe 3 if you're senior. I said all our staff got 4, plus public holidays. He calculated it. That's like 23 days off. I said closer to 28, with public holidays. He said that was nearly a month of not working. I said that was the entire point. He said no company could survive that. I pointed at our 10-year anniversary plaque. He said American companies optimize productivity. I said Australian companies optimize humans. He asked what happened to projects during leave. I said other people did them. He said, what if you're the only one who knows the code? I said we document things. He looked confused. But knowledge hoarding is job security. So I said job security comes from being good at your job, not holding it hostage. He took 1 week off his first year. Said he didn't want to burden the team. The team made him take his remaining 3 weeks. He came back confused about why everything ran smoothly without him. He still works here. Takes all 4 weeks now. Still seems guilty about it. Progress takes time. Friend manages an accounting firm in Canberra. American partner joined the firm. Immediately noticed staff wearing shorts and sandals during summer. Sent a company-wide memo about professional dress standards. Staff ignored it. He sent another memo. With pictures of appropriate attire, staff kept wearing shorts. He scheduled a meeting about maintaining corporate image. Everyone showed up in shorts, including the senior partners, he said, in American firms. There's a dress code, senior partner said. Mate, it's 42 degrees, he said. That's not an excuse for unprofessionalism, partner said. It was an excuse for not dying of heat stroke. American insisted clients expected a certain standard. Partner asked which clients. He couldn't name any who'd complained. Partner explained, Australia's hot. Offices have air conditioning, but it's expensive. Shorts are practical. The American said professional image matters more than comfort. Partner said, we're accountants, not models. American said this would never work in New York. Partner said, good thing we're in Canberra then. The American bought a suit made of breathable fabric. Wore it every day. Sweated through every meeting. Staff offered him shorts. He refused on principle. He lasted 1 summer. Transferred back to New York. Exit interview mentioned cultural differences. Call it heat stroke prevention. I bartended a pub in Hobart. American tourist came in on a Tuesday afternoon. 3 construction workers were having beers at 2:00 p.m. He asked if they were unemployed or just irresponsible. One of them said they knocked off early because they'd finished their job ahead of schedule. American couldn't process this. You finished early, so you stopped working? The builder said, yeah. American said, in the States we'd start the next job. Builder said, why? We're paid for this one. Next one starts tomorrow. The American launched into a speech about American productivity and work ethic. How Americans work late, skip lunch, check emails on vacation. How that's why America is the greatest economy on earth. The builder let him finish, then said, mate, you're on vacation in Tasmania. We're drinking beer on a Tuesday. Who's winning? The American said it wasn't about winning. The builder said, everything's about winning. I won because I finished work at 2, and now I'm on my 3rd beer. You won because you worked 70-hour weeks for 40 years, and now you're rich enough to holiday here. The difference is, I've been winning every Tuesday for 20 years. The American sat there, ordered a beer, didn't argue. Later told me he needed to think about some things. Next day he came back, asked how to move to Australia. I told him, we're always looking for stressed Americans who need deprogramming. He laughed, then asked if I was serious. I said half serious. He asked what the other half was. I said actually serious, but said relax so he wouldn't panic. He moved here 6 months ago. Works in Melbourne. Still sends too many emails. Still stresses about deadlines. But last month, he took a sick day without apologizing 17 times. Called it progress. We call it Australian. The work still gets done. We're just not dying while we do it.